again here.
All right, welcome to part 2 of the Horsemen Hangout. That was a very odd technical difficulty thing that went on. I apologize for that, but we are back here on the Hangout, and we left talking about fantasy matchups. And I was going to ask Mr. Z if you are the #1 pick in a draft, and you're drafting divas, you have to currently please announce, so with the #1 pick, Mr. Z drafts, and you have to tell me which diva you draft #1.
Oh, is it current divas, former divas,
All-time divas.
Oh, man. Okay. This is just personal preference.
Yes.
With the first pick in the 2014 Divas draft, Mr. Z selects Stacy Keebler.
Very good. Very nice. Very nice. Rue TV, I'm going to give you the #1 pick in the Deli Meats draft.
With the #1 pick in the Horseman Hangout Deli Meats draft, Root TV selects Genoa Salami.
Noah Salami. Mr. Lane, I'm going to give you, you have the #1 pick in the former classmate category draft.
Oh my goodness. Okay. With the first pick of the 2014 former classmate draft, Mr. Lane selects Rue DiBiase.
Wow. Mr. Rue, you're on Team Lane. How does it feel to be the #1 pick in the former classmates of '99 draft?
Feels great. It's an honor. I know there was a full class size graduating class, and to be this #1 draft pick, hey, it's an honor, pal.
All right, Mr. Z, you have the first pick in the the past and present hosts of the television show The View.
God. Oh, God. Jeez. Oh, man.
I know who I pick.
All right, give it to Rue. Go ahead, Rue.
Yeah.
I pick
I passed to Rue.
I picked that Elizabeth. I think her name is Elizabeth from Survivor.
Hasselbeck.
Elizabeth Hasselbeck. But
Goldberg.
let me finish. But her mouth has to be sewn shut and then duct taped over because I don't want to hear her Republican crap out of her mouth. So I just want to look at her. She's a good-looking chick.
All right, and Mr. Lane, finally, you have the first pick in the snack food draft.
Ah, that's a good one. With the first pick of the snack food draft, Mr. Lane selects Cool Ranch Doritos.
Great pick.
The great pick. Rue,
Yeah.
please act as Cool Ranch Doritos right now. How does it feel to be picked in the #1 pick by Mr. Lane?
How does it feel for me to be picked? As I already answered that.
All right, never mind. I was trying to have you ad-lib as Doritos, but I guess you're not good enough to do that. So.
I missed the question. Sorry.
All right. Well, that was a decent segment there. I just thought of that as I was on the toilet tonight. But anyway, let's stay on a lighter note. I feel like we need some lighter stuff since we had that technical difficulties. Instead of trivia tonight, what I came up with is a fun game of Name That Tune. I want to see if this works because I'm not sure how my computer. It might have been why my computer froze in the first place, but we will see if this works. So there's going to be 5 theme songs from WWE Past that I will play, and the first person to say them will receive 1 point, or 5 tunes. So let's see if this works because I will need to pump up the volume, which it is. And I'm going to go over to here. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Let's hit it. Theme #1. Come on, work. Oh, no. Hold on. I'll do it this way. I apologize again. My computer's going really slow. Score 1 for me.
You missed. There was a long one when you were out.
All right, I got it on my phone, so you guys can just hear it here. So, is it playing?
All right, as he's fiddling with that, I want to say that I received my Paul Heyman Blu-ray in the mail a few days ago, and it is a very well done Blu-ray.
Wow,
A lot of bonus features on this, a lot of Blu-ray exclusives. One of which is a tour of the ECW arena, which Gabe Sapolsky does along with Heyman. Heyman's there at the beginning, but great documentary, great Blu-ray pickup. The extras alone are worth it. Paul Heyman Blu-ray.
Steve Blackman?
Yeah,
That is correct. That is Steve Blackman. Correct, Mr. Lane.
All right. Nice.
All right. Let's just hear a little bit of this theme before we go on to the next one. The music video is great. He was one of the greatest technical wrestlers. No, he wasn't really, but that's very good. Mr. Lane, you have 1 point. And now we go to theme number 2. I think y'all will like this pretty much. All right, here we go.
The World Wrestling Federation, for over 50 years, the revolutionary
Let's wait for the intro to be over.
sports entertainment.
Slick, Reverend Slick. Oh, Akeem.
That is true. That is correct. It is Akeem. I just got to hear a little more of this.
God so bro.
Mr. Lane, could you just give us your thoughts on Slick and Akeem?
I was just trying to do my Akeem impersonation from back in the from the old days.
All right, theme number 3. Now this should be an easy one, but we'll see. Here we go. Yes, who got that first, Mr. Z?
Z got it. Z got it.
You want to talk one of the most influential divas of all time, learning her craft, showing what she's got. Sunny would be the definition of that. Okay, now this is going to be a good one. We are all tied at 1 between the 3 of you. Let's go to this. This is a tough one, but if you get it, we'll give you props.
Crush.
Wow!
Oh, darn it.
Really?
I had no idea.
I remember that theme, but he beat me to it. Darn it.
That is impressive. I don't even remember this. Do you remember the man they call Crush?
I remember that theme, too. I remember it from WrestleMania 9, too. I remember it.
Great theme song. Great theme song for Kona Crush.
Kona Crush. What was his real name?
Brian I believe Brian Adams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Ryan leads 2-1 to 1. Now we go to the grand finale here. I wish you guys luck. This is a bit of a fun one, so I'll let this play out a little bit. So here we go.
Godwin. Yeah, I was going to say the Godwins, yep.
Heavenly Jim. Heavenly Jim.
All right. Nice.
All right, who got that, Mr. Z?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Z and Mr. Rue tied that today for trivia.
Actually, I'm going to give it to Mr. Rue because the correct answer, although it was the Godwins, was Hillbilly Jim, and he said Hillbilly Jim. So I will give this victory to Mr. Rue.
Was that Hillbilly Jim's theme before the Godwins?
That was actually all right. What happened was the Godwins had Henry Godwin and the Godwins had their own theme, and then once Hillbilly Jim managed them, they started coming out to Hillbilly Jim's theme song, which was that.
Did not know that. All I remember is the Godwin brothers, who was managed by Hillbilly Jim. But anyway,
Managed by Sonny.
yes, of course, Sonny. Okay, so it's up to you guys. We can get into the WWE now. We can get into.
I think Mr. Lane is eager to do his football prediction.
Let's hold off on that because I want to kind of end with that. But you know what? There's something I wanted to get into, and for those of you who are listening at home, please put away your children because we are now going to talk about the leaked photos, the unfortunate leaked photos of one superstar actress, Jennifer Lawrence. Now, I'm going to pick one of you at random. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, get your tiger by its toe. If you holler, let it, Mr. Lane, I actually landed on you. Question for you. If, per se, I don't know why this would happen, but say for some reason you took these nude photos like Jennifer Lawrence did, would you want them, would you be happy, sad, invigorated, excited that these were on the internet for the public consumption?
Oh boy, that's a tough question, man. Well, you know, I'll just be honest with the people on the internet. Whenever you post, I'm just gonna be very short on this, but whenever you post material on the internet, it's gonna be, you know, posted for a long time anyway. So to have nude photos like that being leaked, that is unbelievable. I don't know. See, I didn't mind it. I had no problem with it, but you know, it should be for like entertainment use, like, you know, like Playboy, for example, or something like that. That would be like Playboy material, you know. But then you have some actresses that might not accept the invitation to do a Playboy photo shoot. You know, we've had some divas in the past that have done photo shoots like that too, and you know, it's just shocking. It was just a shocking piece of news what I heard about all this too. Yeah.
Have you seen the Kate Upton photos with Tigers pitcher Justin Verlander?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a former Cy Young Award winner, former AL MVP.
You know, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, she looks great, Kate Upton. I think she's a very beautiful lady. And then from what I know that they had a little something going on, I guess.
Do you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
This could be the reason why he's lost a little bit off his fastball, because he had to give Kate Upton a couple miles per hour, if you know what I'm talking about.
Maybe. I don't know, man. But that's a good question. I think that's a fair question to ask. But I do remember, I think it was earlier this year, I think it was in Yankee Stadium, where I think Kate Upton was sitting like in the front row, I think next to a friend of hers, and I think Justin Verlander flipped her a baseball or something like that. I know there was some little commotion going on with that there, you know, but then we all have to see the raunchy controversial photos. I mean,
his derriere is out there in public.
Rue, I want to ask you, do you, this is weird because you're my brother, but I feel like I should ask you, do you have any leaked photos on the internet that we should know about?
There may be some leaked photos on the internet. They're Polaroids, though, that were scanned from the late 90s when I used to have blow-up toys. But besides the point, there are a few thoughts I want to throw in with this Jennifer Lawrence situation. Jennifer Lawrence, and who's the other one that had the leaked? Jennifer Lawrence and who else?
Kate Upton, I believe.
Kate Upton.
Jennifer Lawrence and Kate Upton are pretty big stars. I don't think they're on the level of where they could be. So if we go by how society and media has created these megastars, I mean, I think they should hope and pray that a video surfaces, not just pictures, because look at Kim Kardashian. She's built an empire on a sex tape with Ray J. So let's see a video. Let's see a 2-hour sex documentary on every woman in Hollywood, and they can all be as big as Kim Kardashian and have a top-rated TV show that everyone watches and thinks is real. My rant is over. Go.
All right, that rant was sponsored by Firestone. For all your auto needs, go to Firestone. Thank you. So yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, it was unexpected. It was a treat. It was a treat. I don't look at her any differently. I think she's a great actress. We all make mistakes. I don't think it was a mistake. It wasn't her fault. Nothing wrong with that. But he hacked into her account, stole those photos. And thank you.
I think there's got to be. I don't know, like if they were photos from 2003 or 2004, you could make the argument that okay, but if you're a star, an established star, and you've got photos taken of you in today's day and age, you've got to be a complete idiotic moron to let those out, because what do you think? Like, people aren't gonna. I mean, if you have a cell phone picture of a famous naked celebrity, I mean, the chances are probably going to leak out. So it's their bad for not realizing that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a treat. But now let's get into. Let's see. Let's go into the WWE before we get in the NFL. Raw last night. I know there's one member of the Horsemen that wants to speak on, and that's right, Mr. Lane. I just saw you yawn.
Yes.
I will turn it over to Mr. Root TV. I saw most of Raw. It wasn't the greatest show. I will say that I actually shed a tear because I believe Jey Uso is injured. We'll see how that affects the belt reign for the Usos. The best tag team out there going. I'll throw out there we're going to see Cena and Lesnar at Night of Champions. A lot of people are questioning why this rematch is happening, especially since Lesnar just basically tore him apart in the last pay-per-view. And then also the Bella angle with Nikki basically exposing Brie as a bitch. So, Rue, your thoughts on Raw and your thoughts on the direction of World Wrestling Entertainment as a whole.
Well, I watched most of it last night, and to be honest with you, I was just thoroughly disappointed. I know Mr. Z didn't watch it. He told us during the break, and I'm commending Mr. Z for not watching it because he didn't miss a damn thing. Nikki Bella is probably the worst actress on television today, including her, second to only her sister Brie. Awful angle. I made the comment last night where actually the angle, if you look at it, and it actually looks decent on paper, but then when they go out and execute it, it's just so bad. And it's almost like they have so much stock in the Bellas, they have so much stock in Total Divas and the E-Network that they have to put these two girls in a high-profile light. I mean, they're two pretty girls. They're pretty much superstars at this point, but they stink. They're awful. Like, those segments are just so bad. It's laughable. I don't even want to go on with that. In terms of other things on the show, what happened to Bray Wyatt? Why is he doing nothing anymore? What happened to his heat? I wasn't he like the hottest wrestler about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago? What happened? Because I know Bray didn't do anything wrong. I know Bray didn't cool off. The fans still love him. So why is he not doing anything? And whose fault is that? Main event, the whole Cena deal. Okay, I guess they're in a transition phase. SummerSlam is over. This is kind of their interim period before they get to Survivor Series. So I'll give a free pass with that. But overall, man, it's just a weak show. And I challenge anyone on here, and I don't have to tell Mr. Z or Mr. Lane, but Mr. J, and I know you're a busy man. We're all busy, but if you ever get a chance, watch a 2-hour, I mean, it's easier said than done, but watch a 2-hour Raw on the network. I don't even care what year it is, from 97 to even 2002, and just compare how better of a show it was. And it's that simple. It's just like the narrative. I'll even be more specific. The narrative of the show back then was actually like head and shoulders so much better. It's just laughable. And then Justin, you made the argument a few weeks ago, and it was a valid point. You said, well, they're not writing the show for us anymore. It's for kids. Well, I mean, how long are these kids that they're writing the show for going to be fans? Because those 10-year-olds are going to be 14 in a couple years, and they're going to think this is lame. When I was 18 and you guys were 14 and Mr. Lane was 19, we watched the Attitude Era. Kids watched the Attitude Era. They love the Attitude Era. So, and it made more money than this era. So I don't understand. And they sold merchandise. And, okay, well, John Cena sells T-shirts. Stone Cold sold T-shirts. DX sold T-shirts. A million guys and girls sold T-shirts during the Attitude Era. So I don't understand their logic. I don't understand the show. It could be so much better than it is. Mr. Z, I applaud you for not watching. I don't know why I did. That's the end of my rant. I'm in a rant mood tonight. If you didn't tell.
That's actually probably the most coherent, clear thing you've said on the Hangout, and I agree with you. I totally agree with everything you just said. It says something when a bunny rabbit, a man in a bunny rabbit suit beating up Heath Slater is the highlight of Raw for me. So I had another point. I kind of lost it in Rue's rant, and I'll get it back in a second. But now I'll turn it over to Mr. Lane on his thoughts on Raw last night.
Well, I thought the Raw was an average show at best. I thought that if there is something that does turn me off a little bit, I think when Nikki Bella, and I knew that unfortunately Nikki Bella was going to turn heel. I knew she was going to turn on her sister for some weird reason. I think I've said that before, where and it made logical sense because she was involved in 3-on-1 matches and 4-on-1 matches, like she said, and now she's in the back pocket of the Authority now. And as far as I'm concerned, with Nikki Bella, as far as that's concerned, why in the heck is she getting a Divas Championship match? Is what I like to know. Why can't we see the AJ Lee Paige rivalry? I enjoy that Paige rivalry. I think it's, like I said, I think that's a better rivalry. Could have some upside rivalry since Lita and Trish. You were saying something, Ryan? Sir?
Well, yeah, just Mr. Lane. I totally agree with Mr. Lane on that. Paige and AJ are the two stars in my mind of the Divas division, but unfortunately, and in WWE's defense, even though it's not the right decision, because of Total Divas and the E! Network and the popularity of that show, Nikki and Brie take center stage.
Well, no doubt about it, and they've been money makers for WWE. They've done a lot of outside charity work beyond the WWE. I'm not disagreeing with that, nor am I going to argue with that. If you're talking about straight wrestling here, you're talking about AJ Lee and Paige. Those two ladies had worked from the bottom, and now they've worked their way to the top in WWE. Now, as far as the main event is concerned, with with some of the other matches, you have The Miz versus Ziggler. That'll be a match, I think, at the Night of Champions pay-per-view. Then you also have Brock Lesnar against John Cena. Now, here's my personal theory. I don't know if Lesnar will. I think Lesnar probably will be champion for a little while. Maybe, maybe not. But I think if Cena, and I've said this before, if Cena beats Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar kicks Cena's butt like he did before, and Cena beats him, I think Seth Rollins could beat a vulnerable John Cena. It just doesn't make sense for business for Seth Rollins to wrestle Brock Lesnar. To me, it would ruin Seth Rollins' career to an extent. It would ruin potential momentum for him because you got basically two heels. People don't want to see matches with two heels. You want to see a heel, But see, if Seth Rollins cashes in on John Cena, for example, that would be shocking. I think a lot of people would like that if he would win the championship that way. I mean, let's face it, he's got 1 year to cash it in anytime he wants. And let's see when he'll cash that money in the bank. Personally, now, as far as Lesnar, like I said, as far as Lesnar and Cena, I don't know. I just want
to add one quick thing before we throw it over to Mr. Z. I renewed my 6-month WWE Network subscription, so in that sense, Vince McMahon, you have won again. But I want to make one comment on that. They're pushing really hard, not only to sell the network, but also in this new Attitude Era week. And they're also trying to sell this new Monday Night Wars episodes. And in addition to that,
Yep.
Monday Nitro episodes. Three great specials that they're pushing, and to me, it's like that's awesome, and that's one of the reasons why I bought it again. But it's almost like, do they, like, for a new fan, like say a 17-year-old kid who 10 years ago in 2004 was 7, so he wasn't even old enough to see the Attitude Era. He's watching this Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars on the network, and he's saying, this shit is so much better than what's on Monday nights. Why am I even watching Monday nights when I can just go on the network and watch all this old stuff and just be highly entertained? I don't know. It's kind of like they're shooting themselves in the foot, despite, but they're still like making money off it. So I don't know. It's just a weird situation. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Let me jump in there. I'm kind of piggybacking off of your thoughts, but when I watch WWE now, and I see, it's almost like they don't have a direction. They don't know where they want to go. 1 second, like you said, the thing with the network, it's the constant. It's $9.99. It's $9.99, and every time you can't ever focus on an angle or a match without them trying to focus on the network. And I understand they got to sell the network,
Right.
but they don't go in a direction. If they want to be a kids show, they don't go to be a kids show. They want to be a show for adults 17 to 35. They don't do that. They're like hanging in this limbo, and that's, I think, why it's so bad, because they can't find. They need somebody at the top, like a lead booker or Vince McMahon, to put them in a direction and put them online, because they just keep hanging in this limbo, and really it's boring for everybody, I think.
Right, yeah.
And, and another thing is, I'm just going to throw out there, I don't know how much more I can take of this broadcast team. I don't mind. I like Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
Cole is... JBL's awful.
Oh.
I can't do it. Yeah, he's the one. And Cole, he is what he is. But, I know Mark Golden's not here, but I yearn for the days of Jim Ross. Mr. Z, your take on any of this? Do you have any comment?
No, I agree with you all. And we were talking when you were having those technical difficulties. I really think right now they're in a very stale period. You're done SummerSlam. They didn't really do much to compound on anything in post-SummerSlam, which it's tough to do when Brock's not there, but I think making Brock the champ was the right move. But also, they're in their pre-Mania build mode right now. So they're trying to throw shit at the wall to see what sticks before you get to, like Ruth said, Survivor Series, when you can start your build for WrestleMania in 2015. It's just, next week football's going to start. Are we going to watch Monday Night Raw, or are we going to watch Monday Night Football? Like, I'm going to watch Monday Night Football. You guys probably will watch Monday Night Football, flick Raw on back and forth. I'll do the same thing. But I'm not at 8 o'clock going to turn on USA Network. I'm going to go to ESPN. And we all know the NFL is going to draw huge ratings, but I don't know if WWE wants to appeal to, like, WWE doesn't give me a reason to want to change the channel. If the Dolphins are facing the Colts on Monday Night Football, I'm going to watch that stupid, meaningless game as opposed to a Raw, because I don't want to watch Raw because it stinks. They need to appeal to people and want you to change the channel.
Mr. Z, question to you, and I know you kind of just answered it, but if Raw were to give you a steady reason to watch, you would most definitely, you're doing other things, like you're watching football, you're doing other things online. If it was really like good, solid week to week, because they have good shows, maybe once every 3 months now, but if it was week to week, good TV, would it be must see TV for you?
Oh, absolutely. If the Cowboys weren't playing on Monday Night Football, I'd be watching Raw for the whole 3 hours every Monday.
I hear you.
All right. By the way, I'll throw out there, I saw 2 of the 3 batters. Did he strike out the side, Z?
No, he struck out 2 of 3 batters. Jason Hayward grounded out to the pitcher.
Okay. Kenny Giles. Remember that name, because he's going to be, he is one of the best relievers in the game. But anyway, moving on. We talked about NFL football. Let's transition into this football mindset. Everyone's excited. about the football season. Cowboys fans, Broncos fans, Eagles fans. Mr. Lane on his iPad.
Yep, I have my little draft pick right here.
All right. First off, I want to say the breaking news. Besides your Mr. Wes Welker getting suspended for 4 games.
Right. Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm going to ask Mr. Z. The Dallas Cowboys recently had a good pickup. They added linebacker Michael Sam to their practice squad. I'm going to ask Mr. Z a question. Mr. Z, if you are a Dallas Cowboy and you are in the shower and Michael Sam comes up next to you, how do you react?
Business as usual. I don't.
Your basic washcloth, basic cleaning.
Yeah, I don't react any differently. He's a teammate, and
All right.
I try not to think about it, but I guess I would act as normal as possible.
Mr. Z, I shouldn't be. This is on YouTube, but do you think? I'm not accusing anyone of this, but do you think Jerry Jones may like Michael Sam?
Well, I think Jerry Jones likes him as a football player, and Michael Sam is transitioning from linebacker to defensive end, and
That's what I meant.
And the Cowboys are very thin at defensive end. Their second-round pick, DeMarcus Lawrence, is on short-term IR, so he is out until at least Game 8 or Game 6. Their starting defensive end is a sore shoulder. So Michael Sam had a good preseason, and he's on the practice squad, so he's not on the 53-man roster. And if Michael Sam can produce and be a good football player, that's all I care about. If he can help the Cowboys win, that's all I care about. I don't care about his sexual orientation. I don't care about his jersey sales or his legions of followers. I just want him to be a good, productive football player.
Let me throw it in there, too. I saw on Raw that WWE offered an open invitation for Michael Sam to come on Raw next week. Don't know if he will. Probably not now that he's on the practice squad, but I think if he was originally on the Rams, I don't know how it's going to work out. But it seemed like another, I guess, media grab. And WWE always does that, so I don't. They always.
Well, let me ask you a question. If Michael Sam by the end of the year is on the active roster and playing for the Dallas Cowboys, what kind of reaction do you think he'll get from the worst fans in professional sports, Philadelphia Eagle fans? I think they will torment him and taunt him and have T-shirts made about him because they already make T-shirts accusing Tony Romo of homosexuality. But that's neither here nor there. So I want to hear it from an Eagles fan. Defend your tribe there.
Hey, I lived in the city of Philadelphia, Roxborough, for 3 to 4 years, and let me tell you, the city of brotherly love has a vibrant, thriving gay community. We all support them, and when Michael Sam comes in here, he will have cheers louder than anybody. Okay.
I'm not talking about the vibrant gay community of Philadelphia. I'm talking about the 60-some thousand drunks and morons that fill that awful stadium on 8 Sundays a year. What are they going to do to a poor guy like Michael Sam who did nothing to those people?
Mr. Z. First of all, I agree. There are many drunks and morons, but I have to call a spade a spade. Many of those drunks and morons are our fellow Phillies fans too. So
there's a distinct difference between Phillies fans and Eagles fans.
Well, yes. Well, yes. I will say there are some Eagles fans who I like to distance myself from.
Here's an example. Phillies' main rivals are the Mets. You can go to a Phillies game and wear a Mets shirt and not be heckled. If you go to a Dallas Eagles game and wear a Dallas shirt, you might not make it out of there alive.
Maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe they morph into maybe the Phillies fan. I'm not being funny, I'm being serious. Maybe because of the environment of football, the Phillies fans, when they go to Eagles games, they get more drunk and rowdy. Maybe that's it.
That could be it, because in football games, you have 8 home games a year. They're a little more intense, and those same people may just be more relaxed. If a Phillies game, Phillies lose, people aren't as upset, and you don't typically have a lot of opposite fans from the other team there. So that's a good point.
Also, the IQ level of Eagles fans is way lower.
I will say this. I will say, as far as Michael Sam, we will boo him based on the jersey on his back, not by his orientation. We'll boo him because he stinks as the Cowboys. Now, there may be some name calling. I agree. Some people may say some things, but I'll also remind you that my college, my alma mater, Villanova University, we had one of our starting centers was homosexual, and the community embraced. A little different because it's college, and the college students are a little different than your average Philadelphian. But anyway, let's get into the NFL preview. We got done talking about Michael Sam. Predictions. I will start. Mr. Lane, your Denver Broncos are getting a lot of accolades, and they're actually my pick for the AFC Championship. But what do you got for your Denver Broncos? Oh, here you go.
Here's my predictions right here. If y'all could see that right here in the AFC, I have the Broncos, Ravens, Patriots, Colts. These are just only division winners. I didn't put down wild cards.
Raven, like of ECW fame.
Yeah, Ravens. Yes. Well, I forgot the S on Ravens.
What was the slogan, Mr. Lane?
Quote to Ravens, nevermore.
Yeah.
Something like that. But anyway, I have the Ravens, the Patriots, and as you can see, the Colts. Now in the NFC, if you can see this, ladies and gentlemen, Seahawks, Packers, Eagles, and Saints. So I personally think those are my solid picks. The Eagles are the team to beat in the East, like them or not. I think, the Seahawks are the team to beat in the NFC. I mean, if you can win a 12th in Seattle, I will not be surprised, heck, if Seattle gets home field advantage. I think home field advantage is going to be very important in the NFC than it is in the AFC.
And it's very difficult to win in Seattle at any point during.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. That's why I felt that's why they won the Super Bowl last year, because of their 12th men. The 12th men really traveled to New York or New Jersey in this case, and then they won the Super Bowl. It was a terrible Super Bowl. I thought it would be more competitive, and it was a terrible Super Bowl personally. But those are my personal predictions. I think the Eagles will win the division. They could be a threat to the Seattle Seahawks as well. I think as well. But Packers and Saints, both of those franchises have won Super Bowls recently. The Seahawks have, the Eagles haven't. But
I just add something.
Go ahead.
I think you all are forgetting someone who is going to be a rookie this year, and someone who is going to be getting his first shot at the big time, and he goes by the name of Derek Carr. If you've never heard of Derek Carr, well, let me tell you something. He's going to be starting the regular season opener. He's on the Oakland Raiders, and he's going to be starting his first rookie season, his first game in the NFL, starting, okay? First game of the season. Dennis Allen, we all know Coach Dennis Allen of the Oakland Raiders. He said that he's going to be the starter for the foreseeable future, instead of course, Matt Schwab, who struggled in the Okay, continue.
Thank you, Root TV, for your insight, Mr. Z. Look who joined us. We have old friend Mark Golden joining us with some facial hair. I like the look.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I got a little on top too. See.
It looks pretty good on you. Hey, are you a fan of the NFL?
NFL? No, I'm not a sports guy, so I'll listen. Why? What's up?
Well, you know what? Before I go to Z with his NFL thoughts, we'd like to hear your thoughts on Raw last night, and just go ahead.
Okay. I have to say that that was the first time. I read a lot about it, but that was the first time in a very long time, and I can thank Twitter for it, that I did not watch Monday Night Raw in many years. And I read on Twitter it was how horrible it was, the Brie and Nikki Bella segments, and just awful stuff. And I just honestly didn't watch it.
Wow. That tells you something, how bad a product is if you're not watching it. I know you're a hardcore fan. So
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see where they go from here because, to be honest, I'm not sure where they go. But all I know is I'm excited that we're getting Royal Rumble.
Has it been announced? It hasn't been announced yet, though.
Well, I know. I checked the website today. Nothing's on, but somebody.
Well, I think I think there's a SmackDown in October, and I bet you they announce it then because they usually give people who have tickets at SmackDown like a pre-sale. So I bet you they announce it then.
Yeah.
Don't they have the calendar on their website, WWE.com? They don't have the calendar of events.
I don't know. They just don't have the location listed. I don't know what's going on, but maybe they have to wait for the Flyers and the Sixers. No, their schedules are already released too.
Yeah, I got my season tickets in the mail today for the Flyers.
I wonder, maybe like that Sunday, we should probably look and see if the Wells Fargo Center is open or something. Or Sundays around there, but
that's a good idea. That's a very good idea, actually.
Before we go off the air, I have a question for Mr. Z before we end the show.
What's up?
Oh, real quick, have you ever watched? I know you're a fellow Larry David fan. Have you ever watched Whatever Works?
I have not seen Whatever Works, but I did see the HBO movie Clear History. I know Justin hasn't seen it yet. I have to let him borrow the DVD, but I have not seen Whatever Works. I haven't seen it because I'm not a Woody Allen fan, so I don't know if it's my Larry David humor that I'm used to, or is it Larry David influenced by Woody Allen humor?
It is enough of Larry David being Larry David that you don't notice it as a Woody Allen movie. So as a Larry David fan, I suggest it. I like Woody Allen too, but strictly as a Larry David fan, you can watch it and you won't be turned off.
Well, I gotta check it out in that case.
I feel like I could watch Larry David on like a soap opera and I'd still watch it just because.
That's right.
Personality.
Clear History is really good. It was also directed and written by Greg Mottola, who is a very funny and intelligent writer. Very good. I love that guy.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I know Larry David has said that he doesn't want to ever do stand-up, but I know he's done some like award shows and stuff. But could you imagine if he ever went on a stand-up tour? I mean, he originally was a comic, I think, stand-up.
Yes, he was.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he would sell out. Like I would pay.
If he ever did a stand-up tour, I would pay whatever it took to go.
Yeah, it would be amazing. You know, I'm sure
he would take the stage and say to an audience, "You people are horrible," and just walk off the stage, and that's funny in
a standing ovation. Yeah.
Well, there's that legendary story where he just walked out at one point and just looked at the audience and says, "This isn't going to work," and like just left.
Yep.
Before he even started his set.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump back into the NFL. Mr. Z, I think we're on you. Mr. Rue talked about his Matt Schaub obsession. The Oakland Raiders. Mr. Z, I'll take your predictions now, and let me just warn you: if you say the Cowboys win the division or more than 9 games, you're wrong. So go ahead.
No, I'm unlike most Philadelphia Eagles fans. I can point out when my team is flawed. The Cowboys will not win the division this year, but they will finish 8-8 or worse. So I can point out when I don't think my team is good. Yeah, the Eagles win the NFC East. The Packers win the NFC North. The South, the Saints win, and the West, the Seahawks win. So I'm right in line with Mr. Lane's predictions. As far as the AFC, the North, I think Pittsburgh is going to win the North. They look shitty in the preseason, but I kind of like them more than anybody else. They always have a good defense, and Roethlisberger seems like he's healthy. The South, I'll take the Colts. They're definitely the best team in the South. The East is New England, hands down, and the AFC West. Who's going to win the AFC West? What team am I missing? Oh, the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
My Super Bowl prediction: Denver Broncos over Green Bay Packers.
And
that's a good one. I like that one, sir. That's excellent. That's how Denver won its first Super Bowl. Very good.
I hope Denver wins for DeMarcus Ware. He's a hell of a player. I've met him before.
Yes.
Extremely nice guy, and he deserves it.
Yes, very good. I'm glad that you brought up DeMarcus Ware, one of the best defensive linemen in all the NFL, without a doubt. I was just doing some research here, and I think the Royal Rumble is going to be held in Philadelphia, from what I understand. I just looked it up. I looked it up on Wikipedia. It says that it will be held in Philadelphia, so that's where the Royal Rumble will be held. From what I've heard and understand, that's like, I googled it, so I'll admit that. But you know, but
That will be a fun event to attend there.
Yes.
As far as my NFL predictions, I didn't write anything down here, but as I said before, I'm taking Denver to win the AFC, but I will not pick them to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if this is a surprise pick. A lot of people were high on them last year, had a tough postseason, but I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers to win the Super Bowl, led by one Colin Kaepernick. Frank Gore, once again, has a good season, even though he's like 33 or whatever he is now. I actually have who's the backup, Z, to Frank Gore? It doesn't matter. Drafted the backup. Anyway, so there's my picks. The Niners over the Broncos. NFL season gets underway this Thursday. When does SmackDown move to Thursday nights?
October 2nd, I think.
Big October. I heard October for that as well.
Just thought about that. I mean, I think originally when I heard it, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. It's going to be live, I think. But they're going to be going up against Thursday night football now, too. So it's Monday night football and Thursday night football they're going to have to go up against. So
yeah, that's a good point, too.
I'm sure they did market research, and I'm certain that that's a better night than Friday, because Friday was awful. As far as me, I could never watch SmackDown. And frankly, I wasn't interested in the taped versions anyway. And SmackDown sucked anyway, so it's...
Oh, yeah, even when I was home on a Friday, I still wouldn't watch. I'd rather watch a movie.
Yeah.
And NXT, too. NXT's still on Thursday, so when they have an NXT live special, it's going to be going up against SmackDown, which is kind of productive, I think.
Yeah, I think they got to change that.
Wouldn't it be funny if NXT outdrew SmackDown? Probably
Explains a lot, too. At least in NXT, from what I saw, they don't cut to the commercials. Or yes, they do. I think I've had. Do they cut off wrestling on NXT?
Not too often, because they only got an hour. They don't waste a lot of time, and they don't talk about what happened on Raw. They don't talk about anything else. They keep to their show, and they don't interrupt a lot.
That's a pet peeve of mine. I mean, if it's a crappy match, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But if they go to commercial break when it's Dean Ambrose wrestling Seth Rollins, I'm like.
Jussie, I recommend you. I know you're busy, but your comments tonight basically echo those of Pyro and Ballyhoo's. He bitches a lot about that same thing, the commercial breaks in the middle of a match. Russo. So
I think I saw his Twitter. I was reading some stuff about that, but yeah, I agree with a lot that Vince says. I mean, I think we all think similar, at least this panel here. So they think similarly, I should say. So all right. Anyway, it is 10:07 here on the East Coast. Time to wrap things up. Get some final thoughts. Summer's over. I can't say. Well, it's been an eventful summer for me. I've gotten engaged and it's been like I moved, did a ton of things. Just wish I could have spent more time down the beach and outside and enjoying my time rather than just running around. So, hoping the fall is a little better as far as doing fun things for me. I'm going to go to some concerts. Nobody cares, Justin. Stop talking about what you're going to do. I'll pass it over to Z.
Yeah, I'll echo some of those sentiments. It sucks that summer's over, but the fall's always pretty cool. Me and Mr. J have a concert that I'm looking forward to in a couple weeks, and looking forward to watching the Phils finish out the year with Maikel Franco in the lineup, and there they are, a strike away from winning the series against Mr. Lane's Atlanta Braves, so I'll end it on that one.
No, Oso Blanco. Rue, final thoughts.
Oh, God. R.I.P. Summer 2014. But everybody, quick plug, 31 videos in 31 days. Will I survive? Find out on my YouTube channel, Rue TV. Subscribe, morons. Thank you. I love you.
Mr. Lane, sir, any final thoughts?
Well, I'm just enjoying my apartment here in Williamstown, having some fun. Glad that all of us have been on the Horsemen Hangout. I mean, this was a very solid show. I thought it was an excellent, entertaining show. Looking forward to some more material on the WWE Network. I'm going to probably watch some Monday Nitros for old school's sake, because when Nitro ruled, I could watch those shows with the NWO for life. I know we have the Horsemen as well. We still have that. So I'm looking forward to watching Nitro, on WWE Network. So
Mr. Lane, would you buy a Best of Test DVD?
What? Best of Test?
A best of Andrew Test, the late Andrew Test Martin, a best of Blu-ray of Test. Would you buy that?
You know what? That's a good question. Maybe. I would say maybe.
Right.
I could just go on that maybe.
All right, just checking.
I would buy it if it was the best of him and Stacy Keibler. Didn't they used to date?
Now he dated no, that was I think that was what I think that was
Kelly.
He dated Kelly in real life, man. He's lucky.
What has Kelly been doing?
Out of the business. She's just modeling and doing some.
She's been out of WWE for quite some time. I know that much. She's been out of it.
Mr. Golden, I can't see you right now, but I can hear you. So I just want to thank you for coming on. I know it was late in the broadcast, but I wanted to get your thoughts on Raw. I didn't know if you saw it or not. So you still there?
Yes, I am here. Hi, I see everyone else. Hi, thank you for having me on. However brief, it was very nice.
Are you and Steven still doing the Thursday night? I forgot the name. The podcast on Thursday night. The
O'Reilly Hangout.
Yes,
that's right. No, we haven't in a while because he was sick too. He had some seizures, and he only has his phone, so it doesn't work to do a show like this. His computer died out, so no, we haven't done a show in probably a month now, at least.
All right. Well, Mr. Stephen Page, we wish you the best. Get well soon, and if you see this on YouTube, shout out to you, and hopefully you get a new phone. And but first and foremost, get healthy, and we'll see you back on the Hangout at some point. So, if anybody else has anything, Mr. Lane has the boogie board. Says get well, Stephen. There you go.
Yep, that's what I have to say. Get well soon, man.
My creation.
I'll just add that the Phillies have defeated the Braves and are going for a series sweep tomorrow. So suck on that, Mr. Lane.
Oh my goodness!
Another shutout.
Trying to bore me already.
Shutout.
Bore me.
Kenny Giles just looked amazing. But anyway, thank you guys for joining the Horsemen Hangout right there. Tune in. We should be here next week. I don't think. I should be here next week. So we'll all be here. We'll get together and we'll discuss the first week of fall and the first weekend of fall as we head into Halloween season, the great season. So take care, everybody, and see you next week. Right on.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.